and welcome to the What the Fork Monarchs preview show. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harroway as we look ahead to a vital match for the What the Fork Monarchs as another tough opponent comes to town, the Redcar Bears. We'll hear from the Monarchs' Josh Pickering, Redcar's Kerr. We'll dive into Mike Hunter's Blast from the Past archive. And as always, Dave, always good to see you, always good to chat to you. I hope you enjoyed your time in hospitality. I've not watched back the Friday focus yet. I'm not sure if the singing from the hospitality tent made it onto that on Friday, but certainly a good night out and good to see you back after we thank him for stepping in, but that absolute jinx Stephen Lumsden did the Friday focus on Friday night. But it might not be Stephen Lumsden's fault, Dave. 2 defeats in a trot, and we couldn't ask for a much harder opposition come Friday night as well.
Definitely, it's a huge match on Friday night. After, as you say, after 2 defeats, we really can't afford to drop any more points at home. We're already going to need to get points away from home to try and make those playoffs, but we certainly can't afford to lose any more. Yeah. Redcar, as you said, as we said every week, said last week, a team full of guys with lots of Armadale experience, or even younger guys. Jason Edwards raced for us a couple of matches last season, and obviously Jordan Jenkins was sensational for Oxford Chargers just a couple of weeks ago. But we know the boys know him, and I think there was maybe some sterner words said behind the scenes last week. They know that it needs to be better if we're going to be anywhere near that top end of the table, and we can only just show on Friday night what we need.
But that's it, David. We've seen it now. Obviously, the Leicester match there and the Glasgow match. I guess probably the main annoyance is that there's almost maybe a bit of feeling in the camp that they beat themselves. I missed the Glasgow match, but from what I was told, the Leicester match was a carbon copy, just routinely beating out the gates, routinely smarter first and second bend by the away riders, and that left the Monarchs riders with everything to do, and that's when mistakes kick in. That's when falls happen, when you're overriding, you make mistakes, you get out of shape, you lose position, etc., etc. And despite we took a heat 1-4-2 on Friday, but once Leicester had the lead, it never actually looked like we were going to peg them back, and we can't give Redcar a start like that on Friday night. You mentioned, the calibre of the riders throughout. The heat leader trio speaks for itself. Eric Riss, Charles Wright, Kerr, all guys who had excellent Armadale meetings. The bottom end, Jordan Jenkins scored a maximum in the National League, and I'll hear people say it's only the National League, but look at his heat times. Those were championship winning heat times he was posting in that match. Jason Edwards, fantastic at the end of last year for the Monarchs and had a great start to the season. And for me, key man that maybe gets forgotten in the mix there is Casper Anderson, the guy that absolutely loves Armadale as well. I mean, he's had at least 1, if not 2 or 3 double-digit tallies in the past at Armadale, and has been guests for away teams as well and stuff. So, yeah, there's not going to be a easy heat. You look down the programme already and you don't see any easy heats, so the boys will need to be at their absolute best, and no mistakes can be made.
100% agree. I've talked to the bottom end, and that's even taught Eric Riss looking like he's starting to hit some better form this season, and he was still in losing side for Ipswich on Monday, but he's definitely been better this year, and they're off. Redcar are off a home defeat to Poole, which again is no disgrace, but they'll be licking their wounds from that. But they did bounce right back with a huge away win at Berwick on Saturday night, which has kind of negated that home defeat for them, so they know they can kick on. But they'll be fancying it. They'll be seeing that they've won away match and we've lost 2 at home, so I'm sure their manager will be targeting us for points.
Yeah, I mean, that really showed their mettle, didn't they? I mean, obviously, you look at Berwick's home scores, and I know people say they were already missing riders and then they lost Jai Etheridge in the first heat, but I didn't think anyone was going to take much more than a point for Berwick this year, let alone a win. Redcar went there, bounced back from that heavy home defeat to Poole, as you said, and they are looking to build on that. And one man who definitely is Kerr, and I caught up with him earlier. We're joined by Redcar man Kerr. Thank you very much for joining us. And I guess on Friday, the Bears will be heading to Armadale. We've seen the last 2 weeks' results. Glasgow and Leicester taking maximum points. An excellent win at Berwick for Redcar, bouncing back from that home defeat to Poole. So it'll be a case of the Bears will be coming north, looking to add 3 or 4 more points to their week tally so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Just try and carry on from Berwick, really. It didn't work out Friday. Obviously, Poole are a great side, and track was a little slightly different. Maybe that didn't help, but on the day, Paul were the better side. So we just need to carry on for Berwick, and a place I enjoy coming to is Armadale. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and obviously not just yourself, quite a bit of Armadale pedigree in that team. Obviously, Eric was a Monarch for a couple of years. Charles Wright, albeit many a moon ago, was a Monarch for a spell. And already this season, we've seen Jordan Jenkins with an immaculate 15-point maximum in the National League, where his times were championship winning heat times as well. Jason Edwards did half a dozen matches for the Monarchs at the end of last season, so certainly won't be a place that there'll be any fear in the Redcar camp for.
No, hopefully not. I think, like you said before, I think a lot of us enjoy it there. Yes, always prepared well. It's a place I enjoy going there and done well there at the end of the last season. So, we need to. Redcar's such a tough home track because it is so enjoyable. So, we lost obviously Friday, but we want to make sure we win and start winning away. So hopefully we can carry on from Berwick and just keep going.
Yeah, and you mentioned it there. That was actually going to be my next question. I don't think I've ever spoken to a rider that doesn't love going to Redcar. So just how difficult does that make that as a home rider, knowing that pretty much every week, some tracks, and some would say Armadale is among it, there's a big home advantage. Guys can get dialed in and really make it their own. That's probably not the case at Redcar. Anyone can come and have a good night any night. Just how challenging does that make as a home rider, not being able to sort of build that dominant home form?
It is tough because, like you said, it's such a fun, enjoyable track to ride. It's prepared, immaculate, and everyone's fast there. Reserves can pop out and beat anybody. It's just one of those tracks, which is tough. We've got a great setup there at the moment, and things are going well. But that only amounts to pressure, doesn't it? And then you expect so much of yourself, and it's. But it is. I absolutely love it there, and you really have to be on top of your game because everybody loves it. So I think it brings the best out of you as well at the same time, which is good.
Yeah, and it does sound, I think, was it kind of 2/3 of the way or halfway through the season last year, you finally kind of found yourself a bear after a few years, and it sounds like a move you're really enjoying and a place you're loving being.
Yeah, absolutely. I love everything about it. It was, when I look back now, probably with the Eastbourne situation, with being owed quite a bit of money, it sort of, I suppose it gets you down, and moving to Redcar just changed things and finished probably the best I've ever finished, or in the best form I've ever been in. So, I'm happy with how things have started this season. So, just keep it going.
Yep, and obviously 2022. Sorry, I was going to say obviously 2022 a new season, but is there kind of a wee feeling of kind of unfinished business in the Redcar camp? Obviously, the playoff hopes were dashed last year, mostly due to injury. Of course, it made it. Michael Pamtoff going out just when he dropped to, I think it was 4th in the averages, meant there was no guests available, and rider replacement was nowhere near the strength of what Pamtoff would have been. So is there that feeling of it's time just to go that 1 or 2 step further and finally get some more silverware in the camp there?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the fans and the promotion definitely deserve that. And like I said, especially after last year with Michael dropping to 4th, it made things very difficult. So, I've never ever won the league, so that's something that I do want to do, and I have won the Knockout Cup and things like that. But I would love to do it for Redcar, definitely.
Perfect. Well, Oi, thank you very much for joining us, and all the best for Friday night.
No problem. Thanks, buddy. Cheers.
Oi there, pretty much echoing what we've said, Dave. Redcar are heading north on Friday, expecting points and looking to put the fight to the Monarchs. Of course, we're not a Redcar Bears preview show. It's the Fork Monarchs preview show. So let's get on to the home men. And we've talked on it already. The gating needs to be a wee bit sharper. We can see the riders have the potential. They're just not giving themselves a start or not putting themselves in position. One man who won't be able to change that on Friday is Lassie Fredrickson. Lassie misses out to SEC, a Speedway European Championship qualifier. So we read a replacement, and I've not actually double checked averages, but from memory, and I think you confirmed before we started with Dave, so I'll put the onus on you if this doesn't come true. It's Kai Thompson in the reserves that can take his rides. So for me, that means the key man on Friday is probably James Sargent, and we need a return to form. Obviously, an off night with machinery on Friday night. Hopefully that can be rectified, and the pits crew can get that back together, because we can't afford another night with, although it only looks like one engine failure on the scorecard, it was actually two on Friday night when he was lucky enough to be able to carry on and get the second when there was only two riders in Heat 8. So for me, key man for the Monarchs this week is going to be that man at reserve, James Sargent.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it was disappointing last week his score, but he has been one of our steadiest riders all year. So hopefully that, as you say, just a blip with mechanical gremlins and back to normal there. And it'll also mean Jacob will have to have at least 4 rides on Friday night as well. The way it works, as you say, Kai getting that extra ride, probably getting Heat 8. The way the team managers like to do that with James or Jacob filling in with the races with Sam. So we know we've got Sam in those 3 races anyway, so we will be strong. But to be fair to Lassie, that's where we picked up 2 heat advantages last week as well. The two 4-2s in the Heat 1 and Heat 6. So hopefully James and Jacob will be able to help us score at least the same as Lassie will, and move on from there. We'll be Paco's another one again. His early meeting form continued to be the same. I'm sure he's just as frustrated as everybody else with that, and picking up wins. But Kai looking a little bit better again. He was good and got Heat 15. We do have the basis there. And I think Josh Pickering is possibly one that just trying a wee bit too hard in those important races, racing against his probably his best mate and things like that doesn't help either. It's unfortunately it just didn't work out for him, but I'm sure he'll be able to put that right as well.
Yep, and I thought, Dave, you were going to go all the way through the team there and not mention Josh and leave it for me to tee up what comes next, but he brought him in at the end there, and Josh is looking to make amends this week. And we'll hear from him now. So Josh, obviously Redcar come Arbor on Friday. It's going to be another tough opponent, and it's absolutely vital the Monarchs get back to winning ways after 2 home defeats the last 2 times out.
Exactly, it hasn't been great for us. It's been a bit annoying, to be honest. Like I haven't pulled my weight the last couple of home meetings. A little bit disappointed with my own personal performances, but again on Friday night, not really with the way I rode, because I rode good. It was just that points didn't go to my favour. Like I started off with 2 good wins and then missed the start in my 3rd one a little bit, and I've done everything to get past Richie, but obviously he's done a couple of years at Edinburgh and he's one of the best away riders to ever visit the place. So it wasn't going to be easy getting past him, and obviously I just couldn't find a way through. I threw everything at him, and then for Heat 13 I just had myself in a bad spot. I think a little bit immature from what I decided to do. I tried to get to the lead and do it all on the first lap, which is something I need to just calm down a bit and have a think and use the 4 laps whenever I get in them situations. But other than that, like the riding point of view, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling good on the bike. It's just that points will turn around and start favouring back to me again. But with Redcar, you've got Charles Wright, Eric, and who's the other one?
Oi Kerr.
Louis, yeah. So you've got 3 decent heat leaders there, and obviously you got me, Sam, and Kai. So if you sort of match them up to 1, 3s, and 5, it's quite close. And then their second strings have got a little bit more experience under their belt, and they've got a decent reserve as well. So we need Sarge to be doing his thing. Jacob needs to get minimum 3 to 4 points, and then Lassie, he needs to do his job in Heat 8. He had a couple of crashes on Friday night, which didn't help either, but he's trying hard, he's working hard, and I feel like points for him and Jacob it aren't far off, So we've just got to bit of luck and just a good roll of the dice.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's never nice to lose at home, but if you do it early, then at least you've still got time. You know, we know top 6 is the target for the playoffs. The team showed its resiliency. It bounced back from the defeat to Glasgow and was unlucky not to take a win at Ashfield 2 days later. You know,
Yeah.
it's not out of our hands yet. You never want to get beat, but if you're going to get beat early, and then you've still got time to make up for it, and the team knows what it needs to do the rest of the way.
Yeah, for sure, mate. It is a long season, but again, we're up against good company, and we can't afford to be losing any matches at home in particular. But we're showing, you know, there is glimpses there of dominance, and we just need to put it all together and work together as what we're doing away from the track. And like Paco, he'd be disappointed with his performances lately, and there's a lot more to come from him as well. So as soon as, you know, we all sort out our teething issues, and you know, we just got to have faith by the team and also by our fans. Like, we've got to keep you entertained, and no one wants a losing team, but the wins taste a lot better after you have a few defeats. So we just got to ride the roller coaster together, and hopefully come out on top, because we're all trying hard.
Yep, and you mentioned there, you know, obviously from your own point of view, riding wise, happy with where everything's going this season. We've seen, you know, maximums in the Premiership, front covers of the Speedway Star. You know, you did the guest spot on Eurosport. It's maybe taken time for everyone to realise, but finally people are clicking on to exactly what Josh Pickering's all about.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just all it is it's just a little bit of recognition of what I know I've been doing for a long time. So I don't sort of, like, I build on it. It's a nice thing. It's a confidence thing. It's not negative, that's for sure. But it's just we've got a team, and for both of my clubs, like Kings Lynn are a great team, as are Edinburgh, and we need to get back to winning ways with Edinburgh. It's been a bit frustrating, and yeah, it has been a pretty good season for me personally so far. But even so, I think I've done 3 or 4 matches now where I haven't scored double figures, and I'm not happy with that at all. Like, every match I should be scoring double figures. So as soon as I turn that thing around as well, and it's not a matter of what my equipment or anything's different. It's just on the night you need, as much as, like, you know, we've got to put in effort and try and win. You need a bit of luck as well. So I just, hopefully get a bit lucky, and we can just see how I go tomorrow night, and then hopefully take that on to Kings Lynn on Thursday, and then Edinburgh again Friday.
Yep, and obviously you've touched on the new guys there. You'll remember that, albeit it was 5 years ago now. It's not easy coming over. It's a different, you know, somebody like Jacob's probably never done Team Speedway before this year. Lassie obviously never really ridden a bike in anger in the UK, bar the odd testimonial or one Grand Prix qualifier. You know, so just how much are you trying to impart on them? Just, you know, patience. Just let it come. It'll happen. You've got the ability. Just, I think both of them probably just need to get that start a little bit sharper and make their life so much easier.
Yeah, but it's always the way, mate. Like, when I started, I couldn't make a gate to save my life, but you just got to work hard, and you got to want it, and you got to want it more than the other 3 riders next year. So as long as they're staying, like, again, you got to be consistent with everything you do away from the track as well. As soon as you start changing things, and you never really know what works for you. So that's something I've worked on, and I've learned as well, is that you just got to have a routine, got to have the same type set up. That way you can get used to it and know what the bike's going to do. So hopefully Jacob and Lassie finding their feet isn't too far away.
Yep. And then obviously a bit of a quiet spell for the Monarchs, but we do busy up over the next couple of months, and that's what riders want. You know, riders want to be busy. They can help build that consistency, and then that's when the Monarchs can start getting those points. And as we say, playoffs still well the aim.
Yeah, for sure, mate. It's Speedway. Like, you're either really busy or you're sitting around doing nothing. Like, I've, of course, of a rain off and whatever else. Like, I'd have spent 10 days doing nothing, and then I race tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night, and then I go Thursday, Friday again, and then I go
Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, have Saturday off, race Sunday again. So I'm quite busy at this time of year now, and that's definitely my busiest spell. So if I can get through that, score some good points, and everything works, how it should, then I'll be able to push on nice for the rest of the year and do things a little bit easier.
So Dave, Josh determined to make amends, as are all the Monarchs this week. We've heard from Sam after the meeting last week. I'm sure the programme notes from the likes of Alex and John this week will confirm that we're going to get back to winning ways, and that is the Monarchs go on Friday. Of course, as always, we say it every week, Friday night is Speedway night at Armadale. Tickets are available now, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk, and then click on the tickets link for that. If you make a late decision to come along, you can pay cash at the gate. And of course, if for any reason you can't make it, EMTV, the Monarchs live stream, is the place to be to catch up with all the action. Again, that's edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/EMTV. And for anyone in the stadium or watching on the stream, they will get some bonus action this week. It's the first official Northern Junior League fixture. And I forget, actually, Dave, obviously there's two teams this year.
It's the Angels on Friday, I think. The Angels against the Redcar Cubs.
Angels versus the Redcar Cubs on Friday. So some extra, is that 6 extra heats you get for your money on that one there, Dave? So absolutely perfect. And do stay along and support the youngsters. These are the guys that are starting to make the jump through the academy, and it's great to see. And hopefully these are the guys that we'll see don in the blue and gold in years to come. Talking of don in the blue and gold, Dave, look at that, see, professionalism at its finest. Of course, the Monarchs merchandise range did arrive in time for last week. I think there was maybe a few communication breakdowns on what was available, so get yourself to the club shop. I'm sporting the rather snazzy polo in it that's available. Obviously some supply chain issues caused the delays. It wasn't ready for the start of the season. We all know what's going on in the world just now, and it's causing delays for all kind of logistics, but everything's there. So if you fancy some new gear, get yourself onto the track shop. There was a big queue before the match last Friday. That was good to see, so I'd recommend getting there as soon as you head in, as early as possible, and then you can have your gear on in time for Heat 1 and look very dapper as you cheer on Sam and whoever the rider replacement is.
Excellent. It's always good to see lots of blue and gold on the terrace. And
Dave's that excited by the new gear. He just chucked a bottle of water or something all over his keyboard.
No, it's all good. And you're looking very good there in your new shirt, Graham. I'll need to sort myself out on Friday night, possibly.
Catalogue kid, as I get called sometimes around about here by certain people. But that's pretty much it from me and Dave. Obviously, we'll never leave you without delving into Mike Hunter's archives and the blast from the past. And another one where we're going way back, Dave, we're going back to 1994. I've not watched the race yet, but I assume that means it's the Middlesbrough Bears rather than the Redcar. But it's a great battle between Lawrence Hare and Scott Robson, and we'll see that now.
We're hoping to improve considerably on their first effort. This will complete the races that have to be left blank for Paul Whittaker. And if Scott Robson can win it, and he's made the start, then they'll be more than happy. Here comes racing through into second place. Chasing hard. Started to rain lightly. Robson leading the way. Hare's right there with him. He's done some tremendous overtaking here this season. Well, there hasn't been really any overtaking so far tonight. Hare racing around the outside, looking for the cutback. He may have it here. Hare alongside Robson. Super pass by Lawrence Hare. Is he going to stay on? Robson coming back. Racing inside Hare there, going into the final lap. Hare just ahead. Loses it a bit there, swings out wide. Robson's come through. Hare's come back again. What a tremendous race. Hare on the final turn, he's lost it. He's trying to come back again, and he's got it. Magnificent ride by Hare. What a race. Well, Hare's given us most of the good racing here at Powder Hall this season, I'd say, and that was as good as anything he's done this season. A marvellous ride. Both these riders putting on a terrific show there.
There you are, Dave. That's whetted my appetite. Ready for Friday night. So I'll be there. You'll be there. Hopefully we'll see you all there. If not, do join us, myself and Mike Hunter, on the stream. As always, Dave, what do we like to say?
Friday night, Speedway night, get yourself trackside.
That's it.
Place to be on Friday.
And then until myself and Dave are back with the Friday Focus, reviewing all the action, Thanks very much once again, and goodbye.